All right, good morning, Mountain View. I have Eli up here. He's going to be sharing with us about his OneLife, and I'm really excited to have Eli here because we actually connected a few months ago, and he started telling me about his journey with his OneLife, but he serves on Detour, teaching our middle school and high school students, and so this is the first Sunday I've finally been able to get him up here. He's been avoiding me serving in church, to avoid going up here, but thank you so much, Eli. So tell me a little bit about who your one is and really how God kind of drew you to choosing him to be your one.
Yeah, so my OneLife is my great uncle Tom. He's 96 years old, and he's a great uncle through marriage. And I think the first conversation I had with him was probably 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago. I was getting ready to go and do a biblical studies degree at Regent, and his immediate response was, well, there's a lot of religions out there, and they all think they're right too, right? So I guess when we started the OneLife mission, God just put it on my heart that, he's somebody that doesn't really know the Lord. He lives alone. His wife died 12 years ago, and he doesn't have any kids. And he'll get the occasional visitor, but I'm like, here's somebody that I know and I care about, that I can just go and spend some time with and get to know and love a little. So that's really how it started.
Awesome. And how has it been going over the last few months?
It's been going really well. I think part of it was for me to realize, he's not a project. He's somebody I care about, and that I really just want to get to know better and love. He gives me books to read that I have like a stack probably like this high of books he's told me to read. I've read 2 of them, so I'm trying. But we've just been really, really able to connect. He's somebody who's super passionate about history, and he tells it like he was there, right? And he's 96, so he was for most of it. But it's been really good seeing the conversation grow from now we're not just talking about history, we're talking about purpose and what we're here for. And for me, it was just, all I had to do was introduce, I went to church this week, I was in my young adults group, or some things that I was doing with the church, and he started to bring it up. He started to ask me, well, why do you go to church? Why do you believe what you believe? I think probably 6 weeks ago, I was able to share the gospel with him, and it was really powerful, and I never expected it. I mean, when I first started talking to him, I had this game plan that God laughed at, and now, the conversations we've had, it's just really grown into a very intentional relationship.
That's awesome. And how receptive was he when you initially shared the gospel with him?
He was interested in it. He didn't accept it, but he kept asking me questions about it, and really that's where it starts, I feel. And it was just this weight off my shoulders because I didn't know before then had he ever even heard the gospel, and now I know that he has, and it's on him between him and God to believe it. But he's kept asking me about it, and I think he's really interested.
Yeah, that's great. So how can we be praying for you and your uncle?
Yeah, it's really a discernment stage now. So for me, it's about, not hitting him over the head with the Bible, but really trying to bring up belief and what it means. And at 96, we have to be intentional about our time. So I think I need boldness and courage to ask those questions, and really for him just to accept the Spirit and let his heart melt for that.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be praying for you and for Tom. I think it's great that you've been so intentional with him, someone who's obviously very lonely, and you've been studying through some great history lessons. I'm sure you've learned a lot through this, but just your ability to plant those seeds, sometimes when we're struggling with how do I get into this initial conversation about the gospel, just even saying like, I'm going to Mountain View this Sunday, or, bringing up church can be a really easy way to start into this conversation. So